Pastor Bill Search, Senior Pastor of Rolling Hills Christian Church in El Dorado Hills, California. But I haven't always been a California guy. I grew up on the south side of Lansing. Went to Everett High School. I grew up on Hillcrest Street between Logan and Pleasant Grove Road. And I just want to say thank you to Youth for Christ. I want to say I am so appreciative of campus life clubs and the difference they can make in a life. I grew up in church, but it was kind of more of a religious thing. And I would say I had a religion, not necessarily a vibrant relationship. But that all changed in the summer of '88 when I went to DC 88, a YFC retreat in Washington, D.C., and it was a blast. But more than just kind of a fun getaway, it was spiritually a pivot point for me. I found myself standing up with a whole bunch of other high school students saying, I'm going to live my life for Christ. And there is a distinct difference in my life between my junior year and my senior year of high school. Because my senior year, I went back from DC 88, a changed guy. It was a couple of years later that Trent said, hey man, if campus life has made a difference in your life, you should help out in one of the clubs. And in particular, you should help out in the Everett Club. And to be honest, I had graduated from Everett. I didn't want to go back, but Trent is just kind of that guy, and I agreed to do it. And that gave me a glimmer, a taste of ministry. It was a year later, I was in Bible college and then graduate school and on the pathway to serving as a pastor in a church. And I can say thank you to YFC and to Campus Life and really to my friend Trent. So as you celebrate what God is doing right now in the greater Lansing area through Campus Life Clubs and Youth for Christ, celebrate what God has done 25 years ago in the life of one student. I'm thankful and I am grateful for all that God is doing. My prayers are with you, and I hope you have a great ministry season.
We really appreciate and love campus life here at Holt High School. We love it for multiple reasons. We definitely appreciate Adam's willingness to come to lunch and help with supervision and interact with our students. It's always good to have another familiar face, someone who the students, who they can connect with, someone who they know outside of school who's willing to come in and meet and talk with them, and it gives another times for students to ask questions, but also, just like I said, opportunities for them to also do stuff outside of school. As you know, some of our students and different clubs and things that they're involved with the school, but there's also things that they would want to be involved in outside of school, like campus life. And so it gives our students another outlet to connect in a very good environment with other students as well as Adam. And so we really appreciate campus life and everything they're doing, and want to continue to have them here for as long as we can.
I've had the privilege of seeing campus life from just about every angle. Growing up, the child of a staff person, being a student going through 4 years of high school campus life, and then being a staff person myself, both volunteer and paid staff. And so there are so many things that I love and could say positive about campus life and Youth for Christ. But where I'm at in life currently now, what I have really grown to appreciate about Youth for Christ is the intentionality that they bring to their staff to student training. Partially because I still get to use the skills and some of the communication tricks that we're taught. I still get to use those in my job today. But more importantly, working at a small Christian college, I'm constantly looking for ministry opportunities for my students, places where they can get plugged in as volunteers or possibly as paid interns. And Youth for Christ is one of the first places that I always tell students to check out. I think that right now, other than myself, we have about 10 people from the college involved in as either a volunteer or a paid intern at Lansing Youth for Christ. And that is just really exciting to me because I know, selfishly, I know that they're not just volunteering somewhere, that the place that they're volunteering is investing in them. It's making them better. It's making them smarter. It's equipping them with tools so that wherever their next ministry opportunity is, they're going to be better equipped to serve there. And I appreciate that. I'm thankful that I get to give back a little bit to YFC because I feel like I've gotten so much out of it in my life. But I'm also thankful for how awesome they do at training and equipping their volunteers because it gives my students a wonderful opportunity to volunteer in their local community.
Hi, my name is Robert McBride. I'm a Lansing police officer. I'm also the head football coach here at Lansing Eastern High School. I just wanted to share my thoughts on campus life. I think campus life is a great program. My two children have participated in it, We've been on some great trips, a lot of positive role models over there. And the program does a lot for the kids here at Eastern and in our area altogether.
My wife Pat and I have been supporters of Youth for Christ for over 20 years. All three of our children have been actively involved in campus life through all their high school years, and going to club meetings and been on a lot of the trips. And you know, they learned a lot about that personal relationship with Christ and what that means, but even more important as a parent, you know, they developed some really great friendships there. And I thought that was wonderful to have kids that they could hang out with that had similar values. They had real positive impact on my children, and a lot of those kids are still friends today. So as a parent, I think campus life is a great place for kids to get connected and get involved and make some great friends.
We are just so blessed to have so many people that are willing to reach out beyond just the four walls of a church and realize the kingdom's bigger than that. The kids struggle with things beyond Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday nights, whenever their youth group happen to meet. That they need something that's in the schools, that is active, that is engaging, that is fun, that produces not just followers of Christ, but examples of Christ to the world. And Youth for Christ does that over and over again in many, many ways.
So I've been at pregnancy services for about 10 years, and we've referred a lot of girls, a lot of teen moms to Parent Life. And the feedback that we get from the girls is that it's a place where they can go and they feel connected. They hear about Jesus. They don't feel alone anymore. Because when the girls come in, they're, you know, a lot of times they're scared and they don't know what to do. So when we refer them to Parent Life, the girls tell me that they feel comfortable because they're around other young women and that are in the same boat they are. They don't feel judged there. They're getting loved on, they're getting accepted, they're getting taught great stuff on how to be a parent. So it's been a great partnership. It's a great place that we feel comfortable being able to refer the girls to, that we know that they're getting really what they really need, that, you know, there's not a lot of that out there in the community, and we hope to continue the partnership with Parent Life for the next 10 years at the very least. So we just want to say thank you to you guys.
You know, as both a pastor and a parent, I really appreciate Youth for Christ and Campus Life. As a pastor in the local church for the last 21 years, it's been our mission to make disciples, and that includes our student ministry as well. And Campus Life has been a great partner in that pursuit. They are so effective in reaching the student that oftentimes wouldn't set foot on a church campus, but are willing to step foot on their school campus, have fun, but also hear about Christ. And so it's been a great partner in that pursuit of making disciples, in really helping us reach those teenagers that otherwise would be hard for us to reach. I also appreciate Campus Life as a parent as well. I have 5 children that are presently at the public schools, and it's a great opportunity for them on Tuesday nights for 2 things: really to connect with other Christians from their school so they don't feel like they're alone as a Christ follower, and to connect with them, but also to be a safe place for them to also invite their friends that don't know Christ yet, and to come and have a great time and to hear about Jesus Christ. And so it's been a phenomenal partnership, both as a pastor and a parent, in helping reach this generation for Christ.
Student leadership meets in my classroom on Thursday morning, and the students are always there, like, before I even get there at 7 in the morning to let them in. And so it's just really encouraging to see students that age, like, ready to grow in their faith and share their faith with others, with their peers, and just reach out to their community. So I love having them come to my class.
Debbie wants to know why it's more beneficial for Youth for Christ to be in the youth facility. One, it gives the kids somebody else to look forward to, somebody who's non-judgmental and accepts them for who they are and truly loves and cares for them in a way nobody else can. They look forward to it. She brings them treats unconditionally. And so those are things that are positive. It's another relationship that they can create that's positive for their lives and impactful, hopefully, for the rest of their lives.
Campus Life has been part of our experience for several years now, and in that time we've seen it grow. It's a great positive outlet for our students to become involved in the community. One of the things I'm especially proud of, and I very much appreciate from Campus Life, is their commitment and involvement to our student body and our campus. It's not uncommon to see staff members at our football games. They took part in our homecoming parade, etc. and they're here on a weekly basis interacting with our kids in our school. So I can't think of a better program to link our students with the community as a whole and do good things. So nothing but good things to say about campus life.
It's about building relationships with kids, and that's what gets me excited about Youth for Christ today, is that we have a wonderful staff that invest their lives in building relationship with kids in this community. And statistics tell us that almost 2/3 of the people that make decisions for Christ in their lifetime do so by the time they're age 18. So what a opportunity we have of making an investment and having a positive impact in our community by helping kids make that decision. And not just make a decision for Christ, but our staff disciples them, gets them into a church so that they're lifelong followers of Jesus. That makes me excited about Lansing Youth for Christ.
I love Youth for Christ, but of course you expect me to say that. But it was nice to hear from community leaders, ones that see our staff on the front lines every day. But what exactly are they endorsing, you might ask? I believe it's our relational model of ministry. The fact that our staff go into area schools, institutions, into groups of pregnant and parenting girls to initiate relationships with kids right where they're at. And before our final endorsement, our Chief Ministry Officer of Youth for Christ USA, Dr. David Ryan, before he comes, give him a big round of applause when he does, by the way. But before he comes to talk about that model, I think this video will give you a great glimpse of it.
Students, they are our future, but less and less of them are followers of Christ. This generation of youth are the least churched we have ever seen, and almost 30% of them identify as atheists. In the United States, there are over 69,000 middle school and high schools. In those schools are over 24 million students between the ages of 11 and 17. Of those students, at least 15 million do not regularly attend church. Campus Life, a ministry of Youth for Christ, has reached out to these kids for over 45 years. There is Campus Life ministry spanning the country from San Diego, California to Long Island, New York, and everywhere in between. With over 1,000 ministry sites, we engage over 100,000 students each week, and that number is growing daily. The question remains, with so many lost students, how can we possibly reach them all? How does Youth for Christ reach this skeptical generation that is unaware of their need for a Savior? We don't wait for students to come to us. We intentionally go into their world in order to initiate new relationships, whether it be on campus, hanging out at the skate park, or rooting for their team on a Friday night. We go where students are. As these relationships form, students enter into the community of campus life. One natural way that happens is through Club. Club is a weekly high-energy gathering where community is built and God's story is told. We also create opportunities for students to engage in deeper relationships with campus life leaders through shared experiences. We spend time with students to earn the right to be heard, model Christ-like behavior, and be a listening ear. As relationships grow, we connect with students and give them individual attention to ask questions, share doubts, and navigate life. We also provide opportunities for students to gather in small groups where we discuss relevant issues that they face and their spiritual needs. As we do this, we help them connect their story to God's story. Trips are an opportunity to bring students out of their environment. Through unforgettable activities, Christ-sharing relationships, and a clear presentation of the gospel, we see God change lives forever. Throughout this journey, we work together with the local church to help raise up lifelong followers of Jesus. But that is just the beginning. We engage Christian students who are committed to personal growth and influencing the people around them for Christ. These students then join us in the mission of sharing God's story with their friends and raising up lifelong followers of Jesus. Many of them even return to Youth for Christ as volunteer or staff leaders. So, with so many lost students, how do we reach them all? By empowering a relational army of student and adult leaders to engage students in authentic, Christ-sharing relationships, one student at a time.